What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Essential. Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. What a time to be alive. I feel like I haven't seen you guys since last year. Have a special guest today. Oh no. Oh no. There you are. Yeah. Remy baby. Oh, she's out. I got the heater on. Oh man, funny. It's getting a little too hot in here. Getting a little too hot. Getting a little too hot in here. I might have to turn the fan on. In fact, I'm going to turn the heat off. Got a little space heater. Oh man. Yeah. How's everybody having their holiday? How was the holiday? How are things going? How are things doing? Right? Yeah, she's out cold. Yeah, so quick update. Remy is she has a pretty good limp. She's got a pretty good limp going right now. We can't get her in to see her vet until next week, but she's not in pain. She's not in pain. She's got muscle relaxers, and I've got a nerve blocker and Tylenol 3 with codeine for her if she starts getting into pain. We had a lot of people over for the holidays. Specifically New Year's Eve, we had a little gathering at our house, at our new house, kind of our housewarming party. And by the middle of the night, she was limping pretty bad. She wasn't crying about it at all. So we are going to take it easy. Very, very short. I'm not even going to say the W word. Very short activities outside. And we're going to keep her on the methocarbamol, and hopefully we get a nice relaxing next couple of days. Of course, if she starts really being in discomfort, I'm going to have to take her in. Actually, I mean, I've got the gabapentin and the Tylenol 3, so we can make it until next week. But still, we've known for a while that her right rear leg was going to need surgery eventually. We're just hoping that it's not that now. If you don't. If you guys have been a fan of the channel for a while, my poor princess, her left rear leg had to have complete ACL or CCL, whatever it's called on a dog, reconstructive surgery, and it wasn't cheap. And it's necessary. You can treat it with pain meds for the rest of her life, but she'll just be limping everywhere and uncomfortable and not being able to run and all of that. So not a good life for an animal. And I empathize for people that are in situations like that can't take care of themselves. So she's my favorite thing. Yeah. So we're going to get her probably an x-ray next week. Not an emergency room x-ray, a scheduled x-ray. So it'll be like a third the price. And, hopefully she's doing okay. But today we are doing the Emerald word of the day for the last time. The Emerald word of the day is !totem. Oh, great. I got to fix this camera now. !totem is the Emerald word of the day. It is a shout out to the new giveaway that we're doing starting Monday. We're going to be giving away more than a totem per week. All right. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think that I think that totem fragment once a week to those people that are watching me live is one thing, but I also think people that leave a comment on my video and are subscribers also have an opportunity to get in. That way, people that aren't able to watch my live stream still have a chance. Obviously, I would still prefer you to watch my live stream, but ultimately a view is a view, right? So, and engagement is engagement, whatever. The only problem is like, how do I get people to respond? How do I get people to respond on the comments, not during live? So I've decided to implement a 72-hour window to claim your prize. So I've got on the blog, herowarcentral.com, I have the updated official rules. Okay, it's pinned right here at the top for now, but it's in my policies. It's in my policies tab as well if you want to take a look at it. I had ChatGPT help me write it up, and hopefully it will protect me and it'll protect you. There are some things in there that I have to say, things like you got to be 18 years or older. You have to be 18 years or older if I check your ID to win. You know what I mean? And obviously totems don't exist on Hero Wars Alliance, right? So like with the Emerald thing, we're not actually going to be doing a totem. We're doing a an award value, which is going to be $50. I'm assigning $50 to the reward for the giveaway. And so the winner will receive $50 USD that you can use to buy Nature Season, that you can use to buy the Season Pass for the Titus event. Or if you're a mobile player, you can use it to buy emeralds, or you can just use it to buy tacos, right? The giveaway doesn't stipulate what you have to spend on it, right? And until I have a way to give you a totem directly, this is the best I can do. So the way it's going to work is starting on Monday. We're going to have a giveaway period every week starting on Monday, and then Friday afternoon at the end of the live stream, we will draw winners. Now, it's important to note that there is no purchase necessary. There's no consideration outside of what is free and not extraneous or extenuous, right? Liking a post, commenting, subscribing, these are not overly taxing things to do, right? In the state of Missouri, consideration, I'm not an attorney, but consideration loosely is paying for something, right? This is not a lottery. The chances are equal, right? No matter who you are, the chances are equal. They're out of my hands. It's based on this Nightbot giveaway tool. It seems like that sometimes people go on runs and win a lot, but in reality, I've only had, I think, 3 in the years that I've been doing this. I think that I've only ever had 3 duplicate winners, only 3. So we'll just go with that. And then I need to find some tool that will scan my comments and pick one at random. I'm not sure exactly how I do it. Maybe I have to pick a video at random and then pick a comment from that video at random. I'm not sure how to do that yet. We're going to think about that. But today is the last day for the Emerald giveaway, and we're going to start fresh on Monday. Okay. The good news is if you win today, you get $100. You get $100, not 50. So you can buy a totem still. Right. 1 entry per person. I think that we might do 1 entry per person, one draw per person per week. I think we might have to do that, El Morningstar, just in case there is some weird things happening with Nightbot. Just in case, that way it doesn't draw the same winners multiple times in a week, right? And if we start seeing a lot of consistent winners, it's random. I don't know what to tell you, but we will 3 duplicates in 12 months. Bestest fans, except that I draw 3 winners a month. So it's actually less than that. It's whatever 1 out of 12 is. So it's not 25%. I think. I'm not sure how that math works. But mobile players, again, you can apply, all right? The only people that are not eligible are countries that are not allowed to have those giveaways. And it's not my responsibility to determine where you live. All right. So if you cannot receive funds from any of the options that I've listed, it's not my responsibility. Right? End of discussion. Be here, get on the list. If you get redrawn, it's because you were here. Yep, I think you have it as fair as it can be. Yeah, J-Bell, I'm trying to be that way. I'm trying to make it so that everybody has an opportunity. And I think it's more interesting to do a totem instead of emeralds. I think it's just more interesting. Anyway, let's get into the stuff. So the main thing that I want to talk about today is totem fragments. Okay, totem fragments. Obviously, we're going to be doing a giveaway about totem fragments starting next week. Every week, we're giving away a totem fragment, right? But one of the very common things that people are dealing with right now is the letter to winter clause. Now, it has been brought to my attention that the letter to winter clause, for those of you that don't know, letter to winter clause, actually, let me pull up on the blog here so that we have a list. We have a list of the items. Letter to winter clause math. Okay, here we go. So the letter to winter clause has 10 items in it. Okay, if you are VIP 5 or higher, the raid golden ticket here is replaced with hero skin stone chests. And there is some hinky drop rate percentages happening with this thing. So the way that I understand it, the way that I have gotten as far as just random pieces of evidence from my community and other communities, if you have no totem fragments, if you have 0 totem fragments and you ask for the totem fragment, your chance to get a totem fragment gets very high. It seems like almost every single person that I've talked to that has 0 totem fragments that asks for a totem fragment gets a totem fragment, right? Capiche? Now you get it in your inventory as a sphere, right? You don't actually get the item automatically equipped. It becomes an item in your consumables. I don't have one handy right now, but it becomes an item here in your consumables, and then you do with it what you will, right? Pretty straightforward. However, the golden ticket, it was often thought that if you were free to play and you asked for it, you were given it as a guarantee. But we know that it is not a guarantee because we have a lot of anecdotal evidence. We have a lot of evidence proving that you're not guaranteed to get this if you're a free to play player. Now, I do have a fuzzy at best memory of a discussion with a community manager saying that the golden ticket, the raid ticket, not the golden ticket, the raid ticket right here has a higher value, a higher chance to drop for you if you are a free to play player, right? If you do not have VIP 5, then you have a higher chance. I could be completely misremembering. It could be just wishful thinking. I don't really know. All right. So what is interesting though, is they did not reveal the drop rates of the letter to winter clause. And we've been asking for the drop rates for the letter to winter clause for 9 years, 8 years, however long Hero Wars has been going. And we also have this grand discussion about the Winterfest gifts. Okay, the Winterfest gifts, there was a lot of consternation about, the drop rate of the gingerbread cookies, and also in the power gift, what was the drop rate of the totem fragment right here? Now, this is a totem fragment of your choice. It's a higher value item than the random ones from the letter to winter clause, but still. And they specifically said that they're not going to share the drop rate value. They're not. And it's very curious and telling to me in a lot of ways why they won't discuss this, why they won't. And, we have the video that we went over with Dita last week or the week before, whatever it was, talking about the drop rates of the gingerbread cookies in the skin gift and the base upgrade gift. And we decided as a community that the drop rate of the gingerbread cookies was like 1 to 3%. And my guess is that the totem fragment was 0.6%. 0.6%, because you could buy the totem fragment from the Winterfest shop. The Winterfest shop had the totem fragment for 6,000. So the idea is 6,000 gingerbread cookies. Absolute totem right there. So the idea is if you had 6,000, you would just buy the totem fragment from the shop. but it cost 40 for the power gift, so it was 1 in 150, right? And if you take 1 in 150, 1 divided by 150 equals, it's 0.6. So you multiply that by 100 to get the percentage, right? 0.666% drop rate repeating. It's not actually the drop rate. It's probably much worse than that if I had to guess. But this is what I was telling people to expect it to be, this or worse. You know, this or worse. But if you go and you search for Hero Wars Dominion era drop rate, okay? Let's see, Dominion era drop rates, and then you search for turtles, you have the sewer treasure here. Now, I did a video about this morning, talking about the statistical average opportunity to get a totem fragment out of the dungeon, right? For those of you that are not aware, if you have the Ninja Turtles hero at red, you get this sewer treasures ability 3 times per day. You get some special Titan resources out of the dungeon. You can re-roll them if you don't like them. You can spend as many emeralds as you want re-rolling them. You don't get anything but the final drop. And the discussion that we had in the video this morning was about, you know, whether it was valuable to spend the emeralds there or elsewhere. So what I ultimately am curious about is the totem drop rate from the lettered Winter Claus, the totem drop rate from the power gift, the totem drop rate from the altar of the elements, and go up here to the altar. Here we go. Titan Valley, altar of the elements. What is the drop rate of totem fragments out of these spaces? Okay, now we kind of have an idea of their value, of the value of totem fragments. So let's see. Hero Wars Totem, Bad Luck Protection. So Bad Luck Protection is specifically from the Altar of the Elements. You spend emeralds here at the Altar of Elements. Okay, I'm going to spend 4,500 emeralds here. And the Bad Luck Protection scales with the number of totem fragments that you have. So for example, if you have 25 totems, you can see that there is a 3,000 emerald gap here. If I have 25 totem fragments, I can spend 300,000 emeralds, right? Pretty easy math right there, right? 7.2 million minus 6.9 million, 300,000. I can spend 300,000 emeralds here, and I'm guaranteed to get a totem fragment if the Bad Luck Protection has been reset properly and all of that, all right? We know that during an event like Asherona, Electra, Goose, Cascade, Titus, Burdock, all those, we know that in those events, if you spend roughly $50, 40-ish if you're lucky, 55-ish if you're really not lucky, right? If you spend roughly $50, you can earn a totem fragment by finishing the chapter, right? Finishing the chapter. Now, I wasn't terribly, like, I'm curious, but I'm not like obsessive about it until I started seeing conversations about the lettered Winter Claus. The inkling, the rumor that possibly it is impossible or much lower possibility, the probability of getting the totem fragment here, the probability of getting a totem fragment out of the lettered Winter Claus is way lower if you have above a set number of totems, right? This is a way to ensure that newer players can catch up. And you do that because newer players need to have dopamine hits. They need to have them frequently, and they got to be big. Otherwise, people quit playing. People feel like it's hopeless. People feel like they can't ever catch the whales. People feel like they can never make in-game. So the idea or the hypothesis is that if you have less than, let's say 16, if you have 16 or less totem fragments, you have a decent chance to get them totem fragment. Let's call it a 1 in 3 chance. Let's just make it safe and easy. You pick 3 items from lettered Winter Claus. Let's say you picked the totem fragment, the emeralds, and the energy bottles. If you have less than 16 totem fragments, and again, this is just a guess, I have no idea. This is just a hypothetical. If you have less than 16 totem fragments, then you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a totem. If you have 16 or more, 16 being greater than 50%. There are 5 totems. There are 6 fragments on each totem. 30 total fragments, right? Divided by 2 is 15, right? If you have 16 or more totem fragments, then your chance to get a totem fragment drops on some kind of slope, or it just drops to 5% or 1%, right? Now you can use this, thanks to Sam for pointing this out to me, you can use this to have a 50-50 chance of items that you really want. So like, for example, energy bottles and emeralds, you know, despite the conversation about what's the better choice, I'm just throwing two together. If you pick these two and a totem fragment, then you'd be like, all right, I got a 50-50 chance of getting one of these two, right? So then that got me thinking, if it's possible, and the reason why I think this, the reason why I think that there is a cap to the Letter to Winter Claus totem drop rate, the reason why I think this is because there are tons of people on the internet saying about how nobody in their guild got a totem fragment. Not a single person. Now, 1 out of 30, that could just be bad luck. But there's a lot of people that are saying this. There's a lot of people that are saying this. A lot. So that got me thinking, why is this here? Why is the sewer treasure drop rate published for 1 2-week event? For 1 2-week event, they publish this. Of course, the Ninja Turtles are here, you know, permanently, whatever. They publish this, but they wouldn't publish the drop rate percentages of the Letter to Winter Claus totem. They refuse to give that information out. It's not that they are quiet about it. They have come out and said, no, we are not sharing that. How come they won't give us the drop rate percentages of the gifts? And not just the totem gift, not just the power gift, but all of them. I think that there is some hidden weight. I think that there is some hidden weight behind almost all of the totem opportunities. I'll talk about why 100. I'll talk about this in a second. L Morningstar. I'll talk about this in a second, right? What I'm thinking is the game has determined already when everybody's going to get totems. That's one solution. Another solution is, and they don't have any way of discerning, like sharing that information. Another solution is there's some kind of hidden weight. There's some kind of hidden trigger, cookie, something on your account that says that if you have done this, then this is your chance. If you are high VIP, then you have a low chance of getting this. If you have a low VIP, then you have a higher chance of getting this. It helps new players with the dopamine. It helps convince old players to make new accounts. Or is the reason why they published this because they were legally obliged to because of the collaboration with the Ninja Turtle parent company, whatever? Do they have to publish this because of its association with the Ninja Turtles? It could be the association with the collaboration hero and the agreement that they had in the contract that they had to publish that. It could be that they needed that for the contract. It's definitely possible. And that could just be all it is. That could be why this is. That could be it. That could be it. Or again, there's some kind of weight to it. There's some kind of something that prevents players that have been playing longer, that have been paying more from getting the totem fragments. Or maybe I am just looking at too small of a sample size and nothing actually is a conspiracy at all. It's just some bad luck. The problem is we'll never know. We will absolutely never know. Until I get a job at Nexters, go down the hall and ask our friends. Oh, man. We just won't ever know, you know? We'll just never know. The good news is you can guarantee a totem. Nature season, cosmic season, and in every new unit event. Every new unit that's added to Hero Wars Dominion Era, Every new Titan, every new hero from now on will probably give us an opportunity for a totem fragment. Brawl Fan Gaming, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to hoard emeralds and do it because I think it's a waste. I think it's a waste there. Let's do our first drawing. So we're going to draw the last couple of emerald winners. Mail 8888. We're going to draw the last handful of emerald winners, and we're going to draw the winners of this, of December at the end of this live stream. All right. Try maybe, let's see. Dark Summoner Titan arriving February. That's what I'm... No, I think Lumira is probably coming first. And I think... are you talking about mobile? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Mail has 2 minutes to respond. Looks like Hero Wars Alliance added Peach, Polaris, Goose, Somna, Electra, and Birna to the game. Hero Wars Dominion Era is missing Peach, Somna, and Birna. Just from last year alone. Yeah, go right ahead, guys. Do all the math that you want to do. I don't do great on math. I don't do great on math, and I definitely don't do great on math on Fridays. Alliance is missing Augustus and one other hero. All right, Mail's not here. Let's draw a new name. How about Huck So Itch? You guys gave that link under the merchant that used to say free emeralds. Yeah, they took that away, Dinermus, because nobody was actually winning anything. I think they kept scamming people out of the emeralds, so they took it away. Savio, thank you so much. Best wishes to you and your family as well. Mort saw that. I'm loving Augustus and all the hero soul chests. No Augustus. Yeah, you'll get him eventually, though. You'll get him eventually. Huck So Itch is